You don't suffer because they're confusing, you suffer because your mind refuses to stop creating stories. Stoicism teaches silence before peace. It starts with a text that takes too long to arrive. Then a silence that feels heavier than it should. Your heart starts to race, your stomach tightens, and suddenly your mind becomes a theater, playing every possible scenario, from rejection to betrayal. You replay every word they said. You wonder what you did wrong. You scroll through old messages looking for hidden meanings. And then you realize, you haven't had a real conversation with them for hours, but you've had 1,000 with yourself. That's not love. That's overthinking disguised as devotion. The Stoics understood this trap long before social media or ghosting existed. Epictetus warned, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." We suffer not because someone hasn't texted back, but because we interpret that silence as proof of rejection. The Stoic approach to love is radically simple. See what is, not what you imagine. Love becomes painful when we turn it into prediction. When instead of loving, we analyze. Instead of listening, we anticipate. Instead of accepting, we assume. The overthinking mind is always trying to control uncertainty. It wants guarantees where love offers none. It wants to predict a future that Stoicism says was never ours to own. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Today I escaped from anxiety." Or no, I discarded it, because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside. That is the Stoic's weapon against overthinking, recognition. Recognizes that your suffering is self-created, not by their action, but by your interpretation. Here's a truth most people avoid. Love isn't meant to be figured out, it's meant to be felt. When you try to control love with logic, you destroy its nature. You start managing connection like a strategy, instead of experiencing it as a gift. Stoicism doesn't tell you to stop feeling. It teaches you to stop reacting blindly. When you catch yourself spiraling, why didn't they reply? Do they still care? Did I say something wrong? Pause. Ask yourself. What part of this thought is real, and what part is fear? Because overthinking is just fear wearing a disguise. Fear of rejection. Fear of loss. Fear of not being enough. But love built on fear will always be fragile. The Stoics believed that peace comes not from control, but from understanding. If you can understand that your thoughts are not facts, that silence is just silence, you take away the mind's power to torment you. Let's make this practical. The Stoic way to stop overthinking love comes down to 3 disciplines. 1. The discipline of perception, see clearly. Don't add meaning where there is none. They didn't text back? That's all it means, they didn't text back. Don't build a movie from a moment. 2. The discipline of action, respond wisely. Act only from what you know, not what you fear. If something bothers you, ask. Don't assume. If something hurts you, express it calmly. Stoicism is not silence, it's self-command. 3. The discipline of will, accept reality. You can't control their feelings, timing, or readiness. But you can control how you show up, calm, clear, and grounded. You can't lose someone who was never aligned with your truth. Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." The anxious lover lives entirely in imagination, haunted by futures that haven't happened. The Stoic lover lives in the present, grateful for what is, unattached to what isn't. Love doesn't need constant mental supervision. It needs space, space for 2 people to be free enough to choose each other again and again. And if they stop choosing you, it's not a tragedy, it's a revelation. It shows you where your peace truly belongs, within yourself. So stop trying to decode love like a puzzle. Stop making silence a verdict. Stop turning uncertainty into proof of loss. When you stop overthinking love, you begin to experience it in its purest form, not as possession, but as presence. The mind may whisper, "What if they leave?" The Stoic heart replies, "Then I will love again, and still be whole."